Hello, my friends. Welcome back to our third week of diving into Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you haven't got a copy of this in your library, you need to have one. This is a book that I reference at least once a year. I go back to it. Always pushes me. It always challenges me to continue to learn, to grow in better and connecting with people. So let's dive in today to another concept. So Dale tells this great story in this book about a gentleman who works for a fuel company, and he's trying to sell fuel to a large chain store. So, recognizing this was written, 1930s, but in my mind, I look at it today as like a gentleman who works for a fuel company. Maybe it's like Esso or something like that, and he's trying to sell fuel to a large chain store like a Costco or a Walmart or somewhere that sells fuel. But he's not having any success, and he's actually becoming a little bit bitter about it. He thinks that they're sort of a detriment to his community, but he's part of a business group, and in that business group, he's lamenting about his concerns, and the group challenges him. They say, you know what, why don't we do a debate? Why don't we have a debate about whether or not chain stores are or are not good for our community? Except that they wanted him to argue on behalf of the chain stores, actually saying that the chain store is good for his community. He says, I don't know how to argue this, but he actually went to the chain store and said, hey, can I pick your brain for a few minutes? Here's what I've been tasked to do. I'm trying to do this debate, and I need to argue the merits of chain stores and how they are, building our community, building our country, etc. And of course, the people that work there are passionate about what they do. They're excited about their work, and they were excited to share with him why they believe what they were doing was so important to the community. And he had this incredible experience where he was able to gain perspective. He was able to gain understanding that he didn't have. He was able to see the world through their eyes, through the world from their perspective. And in that, he actually ended up getting a sale, which was amazing, but that was never his goal. I want to believe that he ended up winning the debate, although Dale never says that. But he ended up getting the sale, and he learned so much by being able to put himself into somebody else's shoes. Now you might be saying, Jason, it sounds like you want me to be better at sales, and I want nothing to do with sales. Newsflash, we're all in sales. Some capacity in our life, sales is really just our ability to connect with other people, our ability to convey ideas. And if you're married or dating, I guarantee you're in sales. If you're a guy and you're married, you did an incredible sales job at some point convincing your wife she should marry you. Our ability to connect with people or to be able to sell or to be able to gain influence is going to be really important in our ability to live out God's call and purpose in our life. I don't know you. I know you and I probably haven't met. We haven't had a discussion about what God's purpose and goal is, what he wants to do through you. But I can almost guarantee that what God wants to do through you involves you being able to connect with other people. So we're all often listening to our favorite radio station, as is everyone around us, WIIFM. What's in it for me? We're thinking about ourselves. 99% of the time, it's what's going on in our life, the challenges and the ups and downs and things that we're facing, why we're tired, why we're not feeling well. What we've faced over these last 24 hours, ups and downs and wins, but it's me and it's from my perspective. So the opportunity is for us to learn how to change the radio station away from WIIFM and onto listening to other people and learning how they view the world, and then our ability to connect with them will grow. I'm not sure if you've ever heard the saying, but we are in life exactly where we're supposed to be based upon the decisions that we've made thus far. And of course, God's grace that, allows us to wake up every day. I always find that statement challenging for me personally, but I also find that when I think about it from the perspective of others is, if I'm in a relationship with someone or learning about someone and somebody's making decisions that I don't particularly understand or maybe agree with, I have to remember that they're making decisions based upon their influences, where they grew up, what their parents were like, what their school life was like, all of these different things that have brought them to the worldview that they currently have today. So when I don't understand someone's decision-making process, perhaps, I need to have more grace because I haven't gone through or lived through what they've gone through, and they haven't lived or gone through what I've gone through. We're both looking at the world from different perspectives. And if I can find a way to grasp, just a glimpse of how they view the world, then maybe I can better understand the decisions that they're making. So more of an actionable step that Dale points out is when you're trying to connect and you're trying to gain perspective, the best way that you can do that as an active participant in that is to ask questions and become genuinely interested in the other person. When you can ask questions about, what are people working on? Tell me about your family, or what are you passionate about right now? What's going on in your life? Or tell me a little bit about where you grew up. I always find that when I do have those conversations, it's always fascinating. I always learn something. You learn and gain perspective about where they are in life and how they're making decisions. And then people find you to be a really good listener. They think you're a really good listener or a really good friend, or they actually think that you're a very interesting person. As that grows, as that relationship grows, as your influence grows, you get opportunities to sow into people, to uplift and encourage other people. And it's this sort of building of relationship that happens as we show a genuine interest into the lives of other people. So as you go through this week, look for opportunities to see the world from other people's perspective. Look for opportunities to ask great questions, to grow relationships and to grow your conversational skills. Have an absolutely awesome rest of your day, and I look forward to diving into, I think we'll do one more week of how to win friends and influence people. We'll dive into it one more time next week. I look forward to sharing with you then.